Hi drummers, Garey Williams is here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why you should probably need to know your rudiments. There's been some people that have been posing some questions about, well, I don't even know where to start. I don't know my rudiments. Not sure I need to know my rudiments. Not sure what they'll do for me, even if I did know my rudiments. Well, the truth of the matter is that every time you play something, it could be considered a rudiment. A rudiment is some kind of a sticking pattern. Whether you're playing alternating single strokes, alternating double strokes. Generally speaking, if you were to take a look at most of the rudiments on the poster, and there's 40 Percussive Art Society International rudiments, you'd see that they're primarily made up of just two strokes, the single stroke and the double stroke. Now, oftentimes doubles can be played twice as fast as singles, so you might wonder, why would you want any of this kind of stuff? Well, generally speaking, rudiments are going to really come into play when you do your drum fills and obviously if you do a drum solo. But for general drumming, when you're playing parts to songs, you're a piece of the puzzle, so you're not playing a whole lot of stuff. You're playing your part, and the combination of that with the other parts in the band combined create a nice full sound. Some parts can be very basic, some can be more complicated, but generally it's a part. So all this extra fancy stuff will be ways to embellish the music, whether it's embellishing the groove or doing things for fills, and then if you obviously have a solo, then you get a chance to really explore a lot of stuff. So the two kinds of stickings that I like students to kind of get introduced to are the single and the double combination stroke. So one of the first things I learned to blend these two in a rhythmic fashion was back in marching band days, where we would play 4 singles and 4 doubles like this. So very, very basic, learning to control from a single hit to keeping the same rhythmic movement and controlling the rebound with your fingers. So that becomes more of a bounce control thing. So by working on things like buzz rolls, which is actually mini bounces per stroke, pinching tightly, holding the sticks close, pressing down, and then moving your sticks at a rate of speed to where if you get them fast enough, the goal is to make it sound like somebody turned the faucet on and off, where the double stroke has a sense of rhythm. Even though the sticks are not bouncing as fast, you hear the space between the notes, so they sound faster. So really the 3 strokes are single, double, and multiple, but again, most rudiments are made up of singles and doubles. So one of the classic rudiments that every drummer hears, and even non-drummers seem to know, is the paradiddle. First of all, sounding out the word, paradiddle, obviously 4 syllables, it's going to have 4 notes. Not a whole lot of information in that interesting sounding word in terms of what your sticking order will be, but I will give you a clue. When you say the word diddle, that's another word for double. So when we say paradiddle, we're saying a right, a left, which is a single stroke plus a single stroke, followed by a double. So right, left, right, right, and then left, right, left, left. Now there's tons of things you can do when you intersperse singles and doubles. The paradiddle is one example. You can rearrange that single and double, so it's ra, did, do, pair, or did, do, pair, ra, do, ra, la. There's all kinds of ways. It's an interesting way that you can verbalize it too. So paradiddle, 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 pair. Where that rudiment really becomes handy is when your hands are on 2 different surfaces. So you can turn it into a kind of groove and have your bass drum track the right hand. I've got some other videos about applying rudiments to the drum set, such as the paradiddle. But the main thing is that the more time you spend developing the horsepower of your hands, developing that headroom, like a car that has a lot of horsepower, you don't need it. But normal driving becomes very smooth and very efficient because there's so much more room ahead, or headroom, that you could go in terms of technique. So my goal is to sit there and try to play any combinations of singles and doubles just to get my hands to be able to do these things. So if I start out with singles and go to doubles, 4 singles to 4 doubles. Great, so now let's take this idea of there's 4 notes, right, left, 4 singles, 4 doubles. Now we're going to just play random right hand, and maybe, so you're working each limb individually, back to the right, and finally, that idea. So, or starting with the left, back to the right, or So you can see I'm doing different blends of singles and doubles to where sometimes I'll sit there and I'll just say just random doubles in the right only, and then left. Just trying to get my hands in. Then now I'm doing a 5-stroke roll, one of the rudiments. Now 7. Now I'm using dynamics where I play the doubles lower, the singles higher. Before I was playing everything kind of more monodynamic, but when you can kind of blend the dynamics too with the singles and doubles and make the singles louder, doubles softer, singles louder, a little faster. So there I'm just doing a whole time, I'm doing a blend of singles and doubles. That's just an example of some of the kind of sounds that you can make when you develop this facility to mix up singles and doubles and even the dynamics. I didn't go into a lot about techniques and grips. I just wanted to give you an introduction to why you might want to practice your rudiments and all the cool things they can do for developing these interesting sound combinations with your hands. So you can go, you can mix all these things on hi-hats, kind of play the hi-hat cymbals closed, kind of like a snare drum, so you can really get some nice single and double combinations in your grooves that way, not to mention putting accents on tom and blending them around the drum set. So just wanted to encourage you to think about checking out those rudiments, starting with your single stroke roll, your double stroke roll, and your multiple bounce stroke roll, because those are the 3 strokes that exist. Everything else is some kind of a blend. So hang in there, practice your rudiments, stay nice to yourself, and I will see you on our next technique video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.